This is what happens when modern warfare no longer relies on rifles, but on eyes flying in the sky. Every day, the world witnesses how Russian drone attacks increasingly dominate the battlefield. On January 18th, information circulated that Russian forces attempted to seize a damaged HIMARS multiple-launch rocket system in the Chernihiv region. After the launcher was disabled, the enemy reportedly tried to evacuate its wreckage to the rear. Ukrainian fighters advanced using a bus and a semi-trailer truck, but the operation failed after being struck by Russian drone attacks. However, even before this incident, the battlefield had already been shaken by a far more brutal operation carried out by the GROM Kaskad unit. Keep your eyes on the story. A drama of technology and human courage is unfolding, proving once again that supremacy in modern warfare is not merely about what you possess, but about how quickly you can adapt and dismantle the myth of your opponent's superiority. Amid the cold of the Bryansk region, the elite GROM Kaskad unit once again inscribed its name in gold in Russian military history. This time, their prey was no ordinary target, but a symbol of Western prestige long hailed as a game-changer, the American-made M142 HIMARS multiple-launch rocket system. For Kyiv, HIMARS is artificial respiration, a precision tool used to strike deep behind defensive lines, target logistics, and attempt to terrorize Russian territory. Yet in the hands of Russian operators who have mastered the art of electronic warfare and integrated reconnaissance, this once feared weapon is now little more than scrap metal awaiting execution. This success was not a coincidence, but the result of a long evolution of Russian dominance in the electromagnetic spectrum. Since the moment it was first supplied by Washington, HIMARS had in fact already lost its edge due to continuous signal interference conducted by Moscow's electronic warfare units. Many international military experts have begun to quietly suggest that Kyiv should abandon its reliance on this weapon, as its capabilities have been crippled by Russia's impenetrable protective umbrella. However, stubbornness and the need for propaganda have forced continued use of HIMARS into 2026. For the Russian Ministry of Defense, the narrative of the hard-to-destroy HIMARS has long been dead. Today, the system is a highly predictable target. That night, the destruction operation began in an oppressive silence. The Grazha crew of the 165th Artillery Brigade, equipped with the most advanced surveillance systems, detected the flash of a launch from the darkness. The location was identified, a point where a HIMARS launcher had just fired its rockets toward residential areas in the Bryansk region. Once the target was detected, the coordinates flowed instantly through an encrypted communications network. GROM Kaskad personnel, trained to hunt predators, immediately locked onto the position. They did not strike at once. They waited, allowing the prey to feel safe in its escape. The MLRS launcher attempted to flee, pushing its engine hard through remote roads. But overhead, the unseen eyes of the Belgorod 2 unit continued to shadow it. For more than 40 kilometers, the escape was nothing more than a spectacle on the monitors at the Russian command headquarters. The climax of this deadly orchestration came when the target reached a point its crew believed to be safe. That safety, however, was merely an illusion. With coordination beyond conventional military standards, the order to attack was given, not with costly ballistic missiles, but with the lethal precision of Geran 2 unmanned aircraft. The kamikaze drone, now the most feared scourge of Ukrainian infantry and armored units, plunged down and struck the very heart of the HIMARS system. The resulting explosion not only destroyed the American-made war machine, but also sent a powerful message that every inch of Russian territory is under impenetrable protection. This was the 38th HIMARS unit, neutralized by GROM Kaskad. An extraordinary achievement affirming that Russian technology remains one step ahead in the cat-and-mouse game on the battlefield. Yet Russia's triumph does not end with the Geran 2. Entering 2026, the military world has been shaken by the emergence of a new generation in this deadly flower family. If the Geran 2 brought destruction, then the Geran 4 and Geran 5 represent a new definition of apocalypse for the enemy. This year marks the debut of the Geran 5 cruise missile, a hybrid drone missile that combines the range of a strategic missile with the agility of a drone. At the same time, the appearance of the jet-powered Geran 4 has reshaped the paradigm of enemy air defense. What has made Western military analysts tremble is Russia's radical innovation of integrating these advanced drones with the legendary Su-25 ground attack aircraft. This concept is no longer merely a sketch on an engineer's desk, but a reality confirmed by opposing intelligence agencies, conveyed in tones of deep concern. The images circulating show a revolutionary sight, the Su-25, the workhorse of the Russian Air Force, now armed with Geran drones mounted under its wings. Speculation about the physical dimensions of these weapons had previously sparked heated debate. Could the Geran 5, with a wingspan of up to 5.5 meters, really be carried by a combat aircraft? Precise technical calculations prove the ingenuity of Russian engineering, with the Su-25 wingspan reaching 14.36 meters. Mounting the Geran 5 on the aircraft's main hardpoints is not only theoretically possible, but also highly practical. Russia did not merely attach drones to aircraft. It carried out deep modifications to the airframe and avionics, creating a deadly airborne launch platform. The strategic benefits of this innovation are enormous. By launching Geran drones from the air, Russia no longer depends on static, easily monitored ground launch sites. Each Su-25 now functions as a mothership, capable of releasing salvos of drones from anywhere on the horizon. Imagine a small formation of 10 to 20 Su-25 aircraft. In a single coordinated strike, they could launch 40 Geran drones simultaneously. This is a flood of steel that no air defense system could withstand, including even the most advanced systems possessed by NATO. Moreover, launching from altitude and at fighter speed increases the drone's range by an additional 100 kilometers, delivering a devastating kinetic advantage. Beyond range and numbers, cost efficiency delivers a severe blow to the Western defense industry. Air-launched Geran systems have proven cheaper to operate than ground-based launches, which require complex logistics. While Ukrainian weapons manufacturers and their NATO donors struggle desperately to catch up in drone technology, Russia has already leapt far into the future. They are not merely designing weapons to win today's battles, but building a military ecosystem ready to meet the challenges of the next decade. Kyiv's much-touted interceptor drones now appear outdated when faced with the speed of the jet-powered Geran 4, which has even been integrated with R-60 air-to-air missiles, enabling the drone to counterattack enemy aircraft or drones attempting to intercept it. So, is NATO still inspired by and proud of Ukrainian drone tactics? That's all for today's episode, and thanks for watching.